Today I have another very interesting story about cat and a dog friendship. Once upon a time, in a small peaceful town, there lived a fluffy cat named Whisker and a big friendly dog named Bruno. They were as different as night and day. Whisker was quiet and loved to sleep all day, while Bruno was loud and always wanted to play. Whisker lived in a cozy little house with an old woman named Mrs. Spot. She loved to sit by the window and watch the birds. Bruno, on the other hand, lived in the big house next door with Mr. Johnson, who often took him for long walks in the park. Whisker and Bruno didn't like each other at first. Every time Bruno saw Whisker, he barked loudly, making the cat jump in fright. Whisker, in return, would hiss and puff up his tail. Whenever Bruno came too close, they can never be friends. Mrs. Spot would say, shaking her head, but life has a funny way of surprising us. One day, dark clouds covered the sky and soon heavy rain began to pour. The wind blew so hard that it knocked over trash cans and made the trees sway. Whisker was sitting on the window sill watching the storm when suddenly she saw something terrible. Bruno's little doghouse was shaken badly in the wind. Then a loud crack filled the air. A tree branch broke and fell right on the top of Bruno's doghouse, trapping him inside. Oh no, Bruno is in trouble, Whisker thought. For a moment she hesitated. After all, Bruno always scared her. But then she remembered something Mrs. Spot always said. Kindness is the best gift you can give. Whisker took a deep breath and ran outside. The rain soaked her fur as she dashed towards Bruno's house. She could hear Bruno's whimpering from inside the broken doghouse. Don't worry, Bruno, I'll get help. Whisker meowed. She ran as fast as she could to Mrs. Spot. Meowing loudly, Mrs. Spot followed Whisker outside and saw the fallen branch. Oh dear, she gasped. With Mr. Johnson's help, they lifted the branch and Bruno crawled out. He was wet and scared, but he was saved. The moment he saw Whisker, his tail wagged happily. You saved me, Bruno barked. Thank you, Whisker. Whisker gave a small, shy smile. I just did what a friend would do. From that day on, everything changed. Bruno no longer barked at Whisker, and Whisker no longer ran away from Bruno. Instead, they became the best of friends. Whisker taught Bruno how to be gentle and quiet, while Bruno taught Whisker how to have fun and play. They would sit together by the window, watch the birds, and even take naps side by side in the sun. One day Mrs. Spot smiled and said, I never thought I've seen the day when a cat and a dog became best friends. Bruno wagged his tail. True friendship doesn't care about differences, he said proudly. Whisker purred, yes, and kindness can turn anyone into a friend. And so Whisker and Bruno taught everyone in the town a valuable lesson. It doesn't matter if someone is different from you. Kindness and understanding can make even the most unlikely friendship possible. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after as the best of friends. Hope you like my story. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel Little Wonder. Thanks for watching.